All right, Randy Kessler, I'll give you the third victim, and you're going to see that in the video right here as well. Gage Grosskreutz, he survives, but at the moment he is shot by Kyle Rittenhouse, he is pointing a handgun at Kyle Rittenhouse. Is that self-defense?
All right, we're going to hear from a man named Randy Kessler. He is an attorney out of Georgia. Oh, he's a real big expert here. Man, if you're going to have somebody come in who knows Wisconsin self-defense laws inside and out, it's Randy Kessler. You believe that? Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnnie Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnnie Walker Dread Show.
Now, I've said it many times. You have to be careful about lawyers. They get on these YouTube channels and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Now, why is that? You might think, well, wait a minute, they have a law degree, right? Yes, but their law degree is very specific. It's in an area, and outside that area, they're no more knowledgeable than anybody else. I've said it many times. If you want to weigh in on self-defense laws, you have to have read the statutes on the self-defense laws, and you have to have experience in that area. All right, let's let her rip.
Well, that's probably the best one of the three, the best chance of getting a self-defense argument. The problem is there's so many optics here. A 17-year-old crossed the state lines with an AR-15 coming in.
Wait, time out. Did not cross state lines with the gun.
Oh, I thought he came in from Illinois.
He came in from Illinois.
Either way,
gun. Wait. I'll tell you the story because
he has to tell him the story. Why do you have to tell him the story? You've invited him on your show to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse shootings. Why do you have to inform him of even the most foundational facts involved in this? You have to really tell him that the gun did not cross state lines into Wisconsin? You really have to tell him that?
it's come out and it's resulted in other charges. There's another person who will be testifying about purchasing the gun for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Now keep in mind, he said, we have to tell you this because there may be other charges. So you see, they're not trying to be fair to Kyle. They wanted to stop him so they can bring up the fact that he's facing other charges. See, this is piling on.
In Wisconsin.
Okay, but even so, he's walking into a crowded area carrying a gun, and that's threatening enough. People that are going to be, I mean, the jury's going to say anybody that attacked this guy was trying to defend the crowd. They're trying to protect the crowd. Somebody walking in with a machine gun like that, if you go after
not a machine gun, AR-15, not a machine gun.
All right, all right, AR.
All right, why can't you let me call it a machine gun? A machine gun sounds scarier, and you're not letting me use the term. Well, maybe because it's not a machine gun. It's a semi-automatic rifle. It's called a sporting rifle. Now notice something. He says, well, just simply walking around in a crowded area is threatening if you're carrying that rifle. Really? Okay, so let me ask you a question there, Mr. Self-Defense Expert. If walking around in public with a semi-automatic rifle is really that threatening, why did Wisconsin legalize it? Everything that Kyle did in terms of walking around in that crowd was perfectly legal. There were plenty of people that were carrying a rifle around that night. And if you watched the video footage, not a single person can you point out looks like he's even bothered a smidgen by Kyle's possession of the rifle walking around him.
It's a weapon that is very dangerous looking, and if you don't know and you're trying to protect the people that you're marching with, that you're protesting with, you're going to try to keep this guy from doing any harm.
Okay, so here's the problem that he has. He really thinks that what was happening that night was that the BLM protesters were marching down the streets in unison, doing their chanting and whatever, and here comes Kyle disrupting them. There were no marches. That had long dissipated. There was a lot of burnings, there was a lot of looting, there was a lot of fights. But this was not a peaceful protest like he envisions in his mind. He doesn't know what happened that night.
So to say that he walked in there and said, oh, I'm a victim? Victims don't walk around carrying guns like that into crowds. You're asking for trouble, and that's what the jury's going to think, in my opinion.
Yeah, your opinion sucks. Okay, let me say this right now. This whole asking for trouble has no basis in Wisconsin law. There's nothing in the statutes that says that a person loses his right to self-defense if he's asking for trouble. Walking around carrying a gun is not asking for trouble if the gun is being carried legally. And in Wisconsin, guess what? Open carry is legal. Now, he comes out of Atlanta, and maybe in Atlanta they have special codes that don't allow this. I have no idea. But in Wisconsin, you can carry a gun in public. And Wisconsin would not have made that legal if they really truly felt that such would be threatening.
Okay. And I'll just ask you, on the second two shootings, he's running away from the crowd. The crowd's going after him, right? There's the video, right? He's running away from them. They're chasing him.
Yeah. At that point, the whole dynamics might change. Do you look at the case as a whole from when he came into the whole crowd, or do you do what you're supposed to do and look at the exact incident? Each crime is separate. For that specific crime, maybe it was self-defense. The problem is they're not going to look at one little snippet. They're going to look at the entire video, and they're going to say, when he walked in there, he knew something was coming at him. But if you go technically by the law, he may have a chance at a self-defense, at least on that third one.
Okay, first of all, I only care about the technicality of the law. I don't care about your opinions. I care about what the law says. He makes a claim, well, Kyle had to have known what was coming. Really? He's walking down the street and he gets ambushed by Jojo Rosenbaum. It's pretty clear that Kyle had no idea that Joseph Rosenbaum was going to do that. Again, he still thinks that what happened there that night was that there were a bunch of BLM protesters chanting and doing whatever they do, singing and all that. And here comes Kyle basically trying to start trouble with them. That is not what happened. But he thinks that's what happened because guess what? He's been listening to mainstream media. That's his only source of information. He hasn't watched much of the footage. He doesn't know anything. All he knows is what he's heard from mainstream media. And I don't think he even got half of that right.
We shall see. Great analysis.
Are they running after him?
Go ahead.
Vinny, are they running after him because he had already fired shots and they're trying to subdue him?
So they're making a citizen's arrest.
Yeah, making a citizen's arrest. These are lawyers talking. Yeah, that's really a good citizen's arrest. When was the last time that you saw a citizen's arrest where you could run up behind somebody and try to cave his skull in? That's not how you do a citizen's arrest. A citizen's arrest is when you detain somebody until the police can get there. It doesn't allow you to clock somebody from behind. And again, another thing. These are lawyers, but they don't even know that the motive of the people that attacked Kyle Rittenhouse does not matter. Go read the Wisconsin statutes. In fact, let's take a look. Okay, straight from the horse's mouth. This is the Wisconsin Statutes 939.48. Now let's read it. Okay, so at any point where it says anything about the motive of the person that's doing the attacking makes a difference, you stop me. All right? A person is privileged to threaten or intentionally use force against another for the purpose of preventing or terminating what the person reasonably believes. The person is being attacked, what he or she reasonably believes to be an unlawful interference with his or her person by such other person. It doesn't matter whether the interference is unlawful or not. What matters is whether the person that is being attacked reasonably believes it is. The motive of the attacker doesn't matter. Let's read on. The actor may intentionally use only such force or a threat thereof as the actor, that would be Kyle Rittenhouse, reasonably believes is necessary to prevent or terminate the interference. It doesn't matter whether we think that the force he used was reasonable. What matters is whether Kyle Rittenhouse had a reasonable belief that the force he used was necessary. The actor may not intentionally use force which is intended or likely to cause death or great bodily harm, okay, unless the actor doesn't say anything in there about the attacker. Nothing. Unless the actor reasonably believes that such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself or herself. Now, I'm going to post this in the description below. You can go and read all of this. You want to read all of the little subsections? Go ahead. You could talk about here about opportunity to flee or retreat. Go on ahead, read on that. Here we're talking about the actor's dwelling or motor vehicle. Go ahead and read. Hell, I'll put the whole thing down there. I defy anybody to go into the Wisconsin statutes and point to me any part that indicates that the motive of the people that are doing the attacker makes a damn bit of difference. Go back.
Are they trying to, what happened before the start of this video?
Yeah, that's
That's
the first shooting.
Right.
These are the second two right here.
Yeah.
He's running towards, he's running towards, right? It's at the end of the street. Wait for
Absolutely.
it.
The police.
They're the
don't
police.
arrest him.
They're the police.
He's running towards the police. And guess what? Let's fade this thing out. He makes a great point. Where is he running? Where is he running? He's running toward the police. Oh, let's fade this thing out. Well, we're going to end the video right here. Oh, and by the way, our expert, this Randy Kessler, the person they brought in to provide this expert testimony about self-defense and when you can use a gun to defend yourself in Wisconsin. Let's hear about him. Let's go take a look. Okay, so here he is. This is Randy Kessler. All right, recognize him there. Let's read about him. In 1991, Randy Kessler founded the law firm known as Kessler and Soleimani, a 30-person family law firm in Atlanta. He is the author of many family law books, including Divorce, Protect Yourself, Your Kids and Your Future, the GA Library of Family Law Forms, and How to Mediate a Divorce. He's a freaking divorce attorney. He's an adjunct professor, in other words, slave labor, of family law litigation at Emory Law School. Okay. Mr. Kessler has served as the chair of the family law sections of the American Bar Association. Do you get the impression that his expertise is actually in family law and not self-defense? This is the person that they brought in to provide his testimony, his opinions, to help our readers out there understand whether Kyle acted in self-defense or not. He has no understanding of self-defense laws. His background is not even in that area. He doesn't understand what took place that night, and I have no idea why in the hell you would bring him in on this in the first place. And then a lot of people say, well, you're not a lawyer. I know more about self-defense law in Wisconsin than this boy does. I'm getting kind of tired of this. Lawyers are not experts outside of their immediate field. He has no better understanding of self-defense than the average person. You might as well just go down and get a person down at the local bus stop to defend you in a self-defense case than this dude. Now, if you're getting a divorce, there's the guy to talk to. Looks like he's pretty good at that. I've had enough. Dumb lawyers, man. Sick of them. Dunning-Kruger. Yep. Like my video, subscribe to my channel.